Alright, so hi guys, this is a bit of an odd video to be coming back from because I missed last week's upload and last week's vlog upload. Um, the only real reason was I was tired. I also hope my audio's hopefully better. I'm still messing with my microphone and it kind of... I know you guys must be sick of me hearing about it. Trust me, I'm sick of going through it. I would really love to just have consistent, nice audio. You think it wouldn't be that hard of a thing to ask for, but, it's just how it is. So, today's video is going to be a heavy topic video, because there's no way to be light about this situation, and I have no other way to say this besides, I've tried doing this video quite a few times, and I've always got, really emotional in it, and I'm trying to hold myself back from that because okay, this is gonna sound so dumb and sound so overrated, but it's true. When you get overly emotional about some things, there are people out there that do take it as suddenly you're not being professional. You're too emotional to even talk about this topic or this idea because you're getting feelings pretty much, and I think that's dumb. To me, it doesn't make any sense, but it's one of those things where, hey, that's kind of how the world works. Uh, and so we're going to talk about a very serious problem that's happening right now in mostly the streaming community, but it happens on all forms of social media after anybody gets almost any kind of tiny inkling of a following. Um, you know, as a content creator, which is really weird for me to say, it's complicated because we are really happy to be in the position that we are in now. A lot of artists and self-employed people are very happy that all the hard work they've done is paid off, and now now they can do this as a job. Now they can do this now. Um, it's odd to talk about because this more so happens when you're in the middle ground, which is kind of where I am right now. Because when you're bigger, you still deal with it, but you deal with it to a much less extent because the number is so big, it's kind of easier to ignore in the crowd. And that sounds really harsh, but it's kind of how it is. I'm sure we've all seen big live streams or big YouTube channels with, bunches and bunches of comments where we're there and we're like, yo, my thing's gonna be just lost in the sea of waves. And that's not a bad thing. But the problem is that there are a lot of people that have nowhere else to go, and because of having a parasocial relationship with somebody, they feel that it is a safe place to vent their frustrations and their woes. And it's not. Um, I still don't know exactly what I'm gonna call this video yet, but it's pretty much simplified down to trauma dumping, you know, and that sounds very harsh. I mean, I'm a person, and I've been trying to work on this myself, where if I get close to somebody, I've been told I have this ability that I can get close to somebody really quickly, and that we can start talking about deep topics, you know what I mean? And I love talking about deep personal topics. I really do. If you guys come to any of my live streams on Twitch, we kind of do them all the time. But there's a time and a place for it, you know what I mean? We're having that conversation, so the door is more so open to having a more serious, dark topic. But when we're not, when we're, in a silly mood, when we're talking to our fans, when we're having stupid fun with our friends, it's really hard to come back from seeing one of those comments because they're never something as simple of, oh, I had a really bad day, this cheered me up. Those are fine. We've all had those. We've all understand that. It's a problem when people go into details about it. And it's honestly, it's actually one of the largest reasons I kind of stopped streaming on YouTube. I still do from time to time, and I don't experience it on YouTube as much now, and I don't experience it as much on Twitch, but it does still happen. Back when my channel was like in its like really big heyday, when I was growing a lot and a lot of things were happening, I would easily get one of these comments every time I uploaded something, every time I streamed something from different people. And I've seen people online defend it when people like me come out and we're like, hey, that really affects us. It really brings us down. It really makes us not want to be streaming anymore because the mood's now tainted. And it's because we're not therapists. We're not. There are some social media influencers that are therapists, but we're not. And we know what it's like to be in a bad place. A lot of us out there, have you noticed that? Because I sure have. A lot of us have depression. A lot of us have anxieties. A lot of us are on the spectrum. You know? So it's hard and it sticks with us. And I've never really openly shared this with anybody, but I've told some of my really close friends and obviously my husband, but I have gotten messages from people that I really hate YouTube's like thing because I can't say the proper words that I would like to say, so I have to sound stupid, but there was this person that messaged me quite a few years ago that still sticks in my brain about how they wanted to no longer be living. And how they found my videos and they found my live streams and pretty much my stuff made them reconsider that. And I'm saying that in a very, like, nice, collective way, but it was a very graphic, very detailed message, down to where they were going to do it, and how they were, like, going to do it, and I was, like, one of the last things they were going to watch. And I literally started sobbing, because I didn't know how to handle that, especially back then. Because back then, I didn't voice this as much as I did, but I was in a very, very, very toxic household. Me and my husband were. I was very mentally unstable, but I didn't want to share that online. And while for some that is seen as a compliment, I suddenly felt like I had so much power and it was so overwhelming over me because I was just a random artist on the internet who was literally making her videos by speaking into a microphone from a headset she had to hold on a, like, 3-year-old laptop. It was a lot. It was a lot for me to take in at that time. And I've also been in those dark places. But I've never thought, I'm going to message someone and I'm going to tell them exactly what I'm going to do, how I'm doing it, and how they saved me, instead of just simply saying, oh, your content, really inspired me, or, oh, that your stuff brings me out of a rut. Those are fine. It's when people go into detail about it to complete strangers, because I didn't know this person. And I've had other instances of things like that happening where I would do a live stream and we're all having a fun time and we're all relaxing and we're just chilling and drawing and doing stuff. And then someone will come in and talk about how they were just beaten, or a loved one or a pet had passed away. Or I remember one very, very vividly where this person was talking about how their pet was sick one time, and we were going back and forth. I remember my friends in the stream were trying to help them, and the people in the chat were trying to help them, but they kept fighting us on, like, the issues and situations, because, like, we were just clearly wrong. And I remember sitting there, and I remember thinking, I am so glad I don't have a webcam right now, because I'm literally about to cry, because this is not what I signed up for when I did this live stream, when I posted this video, when I did this and that. Obviously, this is a deeper topic video, so I'm prepared to get some kind of darker comments in the comment section, or for people to talk about their stuff, you know? But I have talked about it. Yes, I wanted to be a therapist, but I only ever took, like, 2 classes when I was in college. I'm not a therapist. I'm in therapy. And the reason why I wanted to make this video was because I'm seeing so many of my favorite artists talking about this, where they're taking breaks from streaming because these kind of comments they just ruin it. They ruin our day. And I know that might sound extremely harsh, but it's harsh. It's true. It's all of a sudden we're ready to stream, we're ready to have fun, and we're just down to bottom low again. And it's hard to try to pretend that you're not there anymore, because when all you want to do is just turn it off. And it affects us. And I've seen a lot of people, you know, give the excuse of, like, well, where are they supposed to go? Where are they supposed to find these places? You're online. You're online. I will have resources in my links down below above mine, because when I do videos like this, I like to have those. So I'm going to do my best to find those links and post those under all of my social media. But Google is free. You know, and you don't know the content creator as much as you think they do. I'm a pretty open person, but there's still a lot of stuff that I keep to myself, because honestly, I don't want to burden people with it, because it's pretty bad stuff. You know, I am happy and go lucky most of the time, and I am doing a lot better now that I'm in therapy, and I know I am in a privileged position to be able to even get affordable therapy right now. I understand that. But there are times and places for things, and it really bothers me when people come up with the excuses to these people to kind of give them, okay, well, it's like, well, they feel safe enough to talk about it in this place. It's like, well, okay, but they could also be affecting somebody else in the chat. They could be affecting other people. You don't know the people in the chat. You might know the content creator a little bit, right? Because of parasocial relationships. You don't know the people watching. They didn't consent to that. You know, like I said, when I do, like, dark topic, serious streams, I've had people dip out, and I've respected that, because they're like, well, I don't want to hear that right now. Or I've heard people be like, oh, I'm going to mute. And that's their right, and I'm happy they're still there. But I'm also happy they're like, yep, you know, because I've done that. Again, I've done that. Sorry, my fan just kicked on my laptop. But that's the big issue here, is there's a time and a place for it. And then I've seen other people be like, oh, well, some people don't have tone indicators. And I understand that. I do. Because I've been in that situation. Again, I've found out recently I'm on the spectrum, you know? And I'm also not saying that as a, like, oh, well, I'm talking for everybody, because I'm not. I'm not saying that. Don't say that I'm saying that. But I know tone indicators are kind of hard to tell sometimes. Sometimes I can't read a vibe in a room. But you need to think on the other foot. You are having this terrible day, right? This terrible thing happened to you. How would you feel if a complete stranger came up to you and started saying the exact same stuff or worse stuff to you just out of the blue? Just out of nowhere. You wouldn't really feel good either, would you? And there are times and places for those things. Like I said, when I have dark topics and streams and I have very serious conversations, that's an open window for people to come in and start talking about stuff. But we don't want people to not talk either, you know? If a content creator makes you happy, then explain that they make you happy. If a content creator does boost your mood, because they do for me. They do for me. There are some times where I'm like, that person made a video, or, that person is streaming. I'm kind of having a bad day. This is nice. And sometimes I'll say that, but I will leave it at that. I will leave it at, I had a bad day. Or, things could have been better. And usually just as a sign of respect, most content creators and streamers will say back like, oh no, what happened? Because it's just a reflex for a lot of us to say. Now, if they fully did open the window to, say, go into detail or to, oh, do we want to know more, they are now kind of consenting to that thing. But when they just openly go, oh, I'm sorry, what happened, that isn't exactly an excuse for you just to explode everything on the chat and just bring the whole mood down. And I'm saying this out here because it hurts me that so many artists I follow are making posts about this almost every day. A lot of them have stopped streaming. A lot of them have stopped making YouTube videos because of these things. And it sucks because we want to be a safe place for people. We want people to feel safe in our content. We want people to enjoy our content. We would love for people to, have our stuff come out of a bad day. But you don't know if they had a bad day. You don't know if people in the chat had a bad day. You just don't. And it's why I'm linking these resources down below, or you could try to find some yourself. It's not fair to us, and it's not fair to yourself, because we're not therapists. So that was the point of this video. I wanted to get my thoughts out there, and I just wanted more people to be aware of it, because it is a very serious issue, because it's been years. It's been years since I've gotten those very detailed messages, and I still think about them from time to time. They are still with me, and they are not with me in a good way. Because while some people would find them very flattering, I suddenly felt so overwhelmed that I was just this random person, and I was the reason somebody is still here. And again, that might seem like a compliment, but for me, it was a lot. It was a lot for when there was a really, really dark time in my life where that might have been a make it or break it for me, because I just couldn't handle that extra stress, and that's dark to admit, but it's kind of a true fact. Because I wasn't mentally prepared to get that very long, detailed email that day. I wasn't prepared when I signed up for a fun live stream with friends to, suddenly just really be in a bad place, bad headspace. And, yeah, I'm getting emotional again, so I'm going to cut it here, but thank you guys for watching. Please let me know if this has ever bothered you guys, or if you've witnessed it, because I've witnessed it in streams too, and then I've had to leave because I couldn't have fun anymore. And I'm saying this, I don't want people to feel bad if you had done this, especially if you were younger. But I'm making this video so more people will be aware of it, so they won't make those mistakes in the future. And I'm making this for content creators out there to let you know that you are not alone. If you feel like these are way too overwhelming, you are not alone. So yeah, I promise, I know this is a very heavy video, I promise the next couple videos are going to be fun and silly. This is something that's really been sticking in my brain, and I've really wanted to sit down and finally make it after, ditching a lot of audios. So, thank you for watching. Thank you for liking, commenting, and subscribing. It feels kind of dirty saying that after that, because it's YouTube, so yeah. And I'll see you guys next time. Bye.